Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. Okay, we're pretty close to where we left off. I have temporarily swapped back to Spaceship Command, and I'll tell you why in a second. There's still a couple of things I need to iron out with my mod, and in particular, one thing was that the Purple Science was delivering, it wasn't going into the wait stop, and it was coming straight up to this stack, where there's a massive number of purple, and this stack at the top, where there's also a massive amount of purple. And the consequences were that the purple actually blocked out the blue from turning up, which is why 4 and 8 keep turning up in the blue. So I kind of manually kicked them off again by coming over here and picking up some of the blue so that it would get into the, or changing the science so that it would be using purple, and making sure that blue actually made it to the labs to ensure that they could kick off and actually start burning through the science. So the 4 and the 8 don't really exist, so it's really just the 1. You can see purple is now that it's spread to everywhere, it's basically turned off. So it's just getting 4 and 8 really sorted on the blue. The 1, I guess, is real, but I do expect, there you go, it's probably getting topped up now. I do expect at times that there should be things in this list, but they shouldn't stay there very long. That's the key. And there you go, we've lost the sidebar because we don't need it, because this all fits into the screen just nicely. And there's no purple science there, there's just 8 and 4, so on the basis of that and the fact that we're not needing to produce purple, in fact we've probably stopped producing purple altogether at this second. I know we're still producing it, but it's got quite a nice stockpile, so it doesn't really matter if that gets impacted. Blue science, even though I mean the trains have been going backwards and forwards to try and make deliveries to blue science, but they haven't been dropping off anything, which is the whole point. So blue science actually isn't all that behind on the production either. So we're now at a point that I think we can kick production off, is what I'm really trying to say. I just want to monitor this because I'm hoping that very soon the blue science for 4 and 8 will actually overcome the odds, so to speak, and I can change back so that I don't actually need those other sciences to kick off. But for now, what we're going to do is we are going to call up the electric engines and try and fix it so that, because we're over flooded with steel here as well because of my screw ups, but never mind. So that one is the steel. The electric engines I think are EE if I remember correctly. No, it's E engine weight. So let's plug in here a actually it's just that, isn't it? Yeah, E engine weight. So that is not the one. That's batteries. This is the one. And it does not seem to be actually doing anything at this point. Because there's no Q signal making it all the way over here. Why does that one have a green? I don't know. Oops, that's not where the green goes. Now what is that? I'm not actually sure where this green goes, but never mind. What we need to do is so I'm not exactly sure where the Q signal has gone. Let me see if there we go. We now have a train on the way because we have the Q, and that should be a Electric engine, there you go. That shouldn't take very long to get here. We have everything else. Oh yes, we need to, we're going to need to auto trash electric engines. We are already very good. I'm going to have to manually grab some of these and just ensure that the, just like I did actually with the science off camera, ensure that the steel gets dug into so that electric engines can place themselves here. Where are we? We should have a train coming in here. Is that it? Yep. So the one other thing that we need to do after this, of course, is turn on the modules. I probably want to limit this at some point as well, but we do need an awful lot of them, so it's not a huge kind of drama. Oops, I just want to try and take these kind of evenly. For, I don't know, I better get off the rail tracks. I should have learnt that lesson by now. So basically what we're looking for is an ability for this train to actually unload into some of these steel chests, and well, now that it's been kicked off, with a bit of luck that will start happening. We certainly, whoops, we are producing. I need to get away from here. There's another electric engine train, and yes, it is able to unload some, so that's a start. They'll probably go backwards and forwards far too often for a while, but eventually it will be sorted. So let me just have a look at the science, see if the, oh, I can probably do it from here. It will give me some idea. No, Science East 8 is still on there, but let's have a look directly at the stacks. So this one's not, this is Science East 4, is not because, well, it's actually past the threshold anyway, so I can ignore that one. And this one up here is sitting at 5.9, so it's not going to take that much more. I think it has a train coming up there. This is probably it. With a bit of luck, that's enough to push it over the limit so that it gets to 8, and then we don't need to worry about it. Then I'll swap the sciences back. It'll stop just going backwards and forwards needlessly. And I really just did this to burn off a bit of the purple. So we're hoping to get to, yeah, 8,000. 7. Just one more 1,000, guys. You can do it. One more 100. There you go. Alright. So let's change the science back to that one. That slither is almost noticeable at this point. And we're starting to get a few more of these getting unloaded. How many does the train take? Is it 16,000? Yeah, it probably is actually. They stack to 50, so that's 2,000. Yeah, 16,000, and the train is below. So it is starting to empty those appropriately. So let's come down here. That's just because it's night and it's a lamp at heart. It is time to get the modules and then the low density structures rolling. that should be all the connections we need. That needs to be a read train contents. Let's just check all of these have read train contents. Read train contents, very good. So this one is the P. This can be trains on the way less than P, in which case we want the speed modules, and this one is trains on the way is less than Q, and if that's the case we want our brand new efficiency module 3 delivery. So the last one is the LDS. How's this going? Very good. We don't have any purple. We do have this crude oil showing up though. I might have to see if there's an issue there and if we need some additional oil trains. LDS to there, to there, to there, to there. This one to there. And that also needs to be read train contents. And finally, if trains on the way is less than P, then order the LDS. Excellent. Now, what's going on with my crude oil supply? Let's quickly have a look at that. There's none up there. Looks like there's one coming here. We have trains out here, and these ones, they only have one each, which is probably a little bit of a waste of time. It's not that big a field, this one, so it's possible that it would help if I put speed modules in it. So that the turnaround of trains could be faster. It's probably worth doing that. I don't actually have a nearby stop. I'd have to go to oil 8 and maybe speed module this one. But it's just had a train leave and it's close to full. These ones at the back that are pushing to these sides are still moving, but here it's sort of fairly congested right now. We should, yeah, the crude is recovering. So iron, of course, plastic, of course. What have we got here? We've got the blue circuits coming. There's a train on the way. It is from the efficiency module, efficiency modules, so that's good. I think what we will do to make this, well, for starters, is this guy, no, he's in manual. How about we put him into automatic? So he's waiting for a full load. He certainly doesn't have that yet. Wow, we oversupplied on batteries somewhat, didn't we? Yeah, let us go to the speed modules, because I think they're likely to run short as well if we don't do something about it. Turn them on. Oh, how's LDS doing? We've got a train on the way from there. We have. We should be fairly close to. I mean, all of these are going fast. How fast is that building up? I really would like to be able to show you the final, well, like this train pulling off and delivering. Maybe I will pause the recording until this is almost full and oh, hang on, 4,000. How many get in each one? we might actually be quite close to full. Because it's only a 242. No, that's halfway. We're only halfway. Alright, so yeah, I will pause the recording for a moment and rejoin you shortly. That's not the one. And back. Yes, so as I was saying, so we're up to 7,900 now on the construction robots. At 8,000 this train will take off. I am actually still stuck back by the speed modules. I've re-enabled them so that they can keep supplying this area. There you go, this train is off. I think it's going to not be in luck because we didn't set up any unloading here, so we are going to have to wait until we can depart. So maybe we could have waited a little bit longer. After all, we definitely have the right to go. What exactly is the hold up? It's allowing this one through. Come on, let me go. I've got I should have priority. There must be a queue somewhere. Be nice if you could force player priority over machines, though. I suppose I could always turn these off, which would give me the priority. Come on, are we going? Are we going? Are we going? I feel a lot like a lost train. I guess some of these started a while before us, but I would really like to go now. Can we go? Can we go? What are we waiting for? Oh dear, alright. I really am going to have to force... If we don't start moving very soon, I'll see if I can just tell some trains to go manual so that they don't get in our way. Come on, our turn, let's go. Our turn, let's go. I think we have to wait for a very long way up here to clear out before we can go, which is a problem. Problem having so many intersections here, which is part of my overriding issue with the amount of stuff that I have going down Circuit Alley. But I kind of didn't really expect to be spending quite as long as this. Would you just go, for goodness sake? You, manual. That's not going to work, it's blocking the way now. Oh, are you kidding me? This guy... Oh, because he's going that way. Why can't we go that way? Alright, you know what? I'm going to drive... We'll go down this way. Trust me, there is a way this way. Thank goodness for that. Alright, so what is happening back at the Drydock assembly component? That's rather more interesting. Okay, this train's just waiting. That's awesome. We will get there very soon and we will set up our unloaders for it. I think I might want this one here not to be blue, but to actually be a stack inserter, just to get through... oh, actually there's a backlog there, which is interesting, which probably means that all of these are full. Well, they're only ordering 100, so I guess that doesn't take very long. But this whole thing's going to shut down if we don't get there soon. How are the open requests? Well, they've started to grow now, even though we're only on faster than light A. So that is the issue with significant module production happening at the same time as everything else that we are doing. How many modules do we actually have sitting here? We have quite a lot. We're close to all the modules that we need, so it really shouldn't have a full additional one, but we can't really do halves, so that's what it is what it is. So anyway, we're almost there. It just took we're going down through the bottom and up, it looks like. Looks like all these sciences have basically finished up at least, which is something. They're still busy because they can buffer up to large amounts, but that's okay. Well, it's not that large an amount, but it is something. On the map, we're coming up the side here to come back down here and get home. Finish off the bit that we didn't do properly while we took off on our little random chase. How are the module production? Oh, those are 2s. There you go. So it's still carrying on at roughly 200 per. That one is only just picking up because we've turned it on fairly recently, so the 1 minute is not averaging the 200 yet, but 5 seconds it is. And our science 12,000 is only red, so big deal, but yeah, it's 12,000 a minute consumption. Doesn't really matter what the other one was. If it doesn't need to produce at the 12,000, it won't. Here we are finally. We actually get a few more UPS back when we're not in map mode, so it's probably better not to be in map mode. And yes, we have actually made a dent in faster than light theory A in spite of it being 16 million, so there you go. Right, let's sort out our latest round of being dumb. I need some red boxes. Oops, it's further along this way. I think I only need one of these. Do it this way so I don't end up picking up extra construction bots that I don't want. Now, whoops, that was scrolling out further than I wanted to. This has basically stopped, has it? No, it's just stacking up a heap into those boxes. Let's run over there. It's possible I want that to unload faster. I think this would work a little bit better if that was a stack inserter. And likewise over here, you could be a stack inserter. Yeah, that seems to be a little bit more consistent. More electric engines. How's this going? I think the demand for construction bots is higher. There's a lot of these, in fact. So let us, instead of just one, let's have 2. So that it can get through it a little bit faster. Now, is everything that we wanted getting done? This guy here is slowly filling up on the assembly robots. By slowly, it's actually happening quite quickly, so I'm fairly happy with that. We will very shortly have an assembly component built. But as you can see, they are not quick, and they are going to take a fair amount of time each. And it's probably a factor of just how quickly we can build each of these. That is the thing at issue. They're basically building as quickly as they can. They're not being held up. Let's see how quickly this refills. How many do we have in the network? 3.4 thousand. Would it help if I doubled that up? It possibly would. 3.4 thousand. Oh, it's dropping anyway, so maybe not. I guess I'll observe it through a cycle or two. And there you have it! We actually missed it, but there is our first assembly component. I'm going to assume that the second one will be put into here. We need 50 in total, and then all of this can shut down. Maybe it's worth building a controller. It's also possibly worth considering. Well, let's just have a look. Do we have any low density structures outstanding and sitting in here? We don't, so I could consider building up the other component, this one, which only uses low density structures. Because we can do about 6,000, well no, it's 4,000 and something a minute. And we're obviously not burning through it at that rate here, because we are just using, there's none in, oh yes there are some in there, but it's only 5, it's not very many. It's in here that we use 1,600. So we are below capacity with low density structures, although plastic of course remains an issue, and plastic is a key component of low density structures. So not sure. I think I'd probably like to get this component completely built and then worry about the other one afterwards. This is definitely the harder one. We're dealing with the harder one first. So we'll just see this one get built. I'm assuming it is going to get delivered to there. I'm not 100% sure. I am assuming that is the case. 793 800, and it's reloading. Doesn't take very long for it to make one. It's about 4 seconds or so. There you go, it's made 2, and as expected, so it does deliver these evenly. But that's only 2 of 50. There's no point moving this over to the launch silo until we get to 50. But I think we've probably done enough for this time. We have made our first Drydock assembly components. 48 more to go. They are getting made fairly quickly. If we look at our production summary, maybe over the last minute, there they are. There's 0.8 a minute. That's probably not accurate. 0.2 a minute. So it's taking about 5 minutes maybe. We'll get a better view of that when it gets further along. But there you have it. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. We should be starting to put some of these guys into space. See you then. Bye-bye for now.